Hey everybody, we just got done reviewing The Last Voyage of the Demeter, so go check that video out. There is spoilers for that, but if you know the book, you probably know what happens. And they kind of tell you in the beginning, no survivor.
True. Oh, I did forget to mention that bothered me. I wish they hadn't done that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but
Hadn't
it's
done
like,
what?
The like pre where you see the ship in the beginning on the shore.
Oh,
I wish they
okay,
had
I
just
got
started
you.
with the voyage. But anyway.
yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, me and my brothers, Jared, who's not here because he got taken by Dracula, I guess. We finally do a horror review, and he's not here for it. So
Yeah, what the crap, man?
so we were talking, and we're like, "Hey, what's on your travel bucket list?" So I asked you guys to pick the 5 top countries in the world that you would like to visit. And who would like to go first?
Go ahead, Thomas.
Are we gonna do this like 1-1-1, 2-2-2?
Yeah, we could do that. Do you have an order to them, or are you just gonna?
No,
absolutely
not.
I have a 5 I want to go to. Yeah, I have like an order of them. So
Okay, yeah, we can do it in your order then. So go with number 5.
number 5 is gonna be Australia. I don't know if I want to stay there for very long. Because if you've been listening to any of our podcasts for any amount of time, you know that I have a fear of this thing called spiders. And apparently they are like not just rampant in Australia, but like,
Deadly?
Yes.
Plenty to go around.
Yeah, like everything in Australia wants to kill you. Like they have fire tornadoes, and I don't know how that's
people.
Except for the people. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I want to go is because I've heard like the hospitality is so great. So I do want to see if I do want to try to go to Australia. So
Well, I'll
Michael,
take
you
the
have a number
others.
5?
Yeah, I'll take the other side of that coin. Mine aren't in any order, but I'll take the other side of that coin and I'll say New Zealand because it's where Lord of the Rings was filmed. And I want to go to Hobbiton and I want to see the whole thing. It'd be awesome. I want to watch The Hobbit in Hobbiton.
Do you want to stay in the little hobbit houses they have for rent?
They'll never take me out. I will stay in there forever. I will lock the door.
they're like,
too tall, you're
sir, please vacate the hobbit hole.
So my number 5 is Italy, because they have a lot of good food, and I want to see Rome because that's it. But even like their coastal areas are cool. So Leaning Tower of Pisa, that's cool. The art scene. So yeah, Italy seems like a cool place to go. So that's not my number 5. So Thomas, you're number 4.
I'd like to go to England / the UK. I mean, I know Ireland isn't England, but just that whole area, like Scotland and everything else like that. People always say don't go during the winter, you're not going to enjoy it. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, have you been to Texas in the summer? I would like the opposite of that. So but yeah, there's so much history to it, and I'd love to like walk around like on the countrysides because I heard walking is a national pastime there. So I would definitely love to go to the UK just to walk around and see all the history because there's a ton of history in the UK.
Yeah. Castles everywhere.
Oh, that's the thing in Scotland too. They have like I think one of the most capitals per like it's not mileage, but you know what I mean. Like in per area, I think they have like 1,500 castles in Scotland. So Scotland's not big like at all. So, but yeah, Michael.
Go have to steal with Joseph's on this last one. Italy, easy one to go. I want to go there so badly.
Italiano.
So badly.
Just walk. I just want to walk everywhere. Just want to walk all over the place.
Spanish steps walking.
That's fun. The thing about a lot of European stuff too. It's all meant for walking. People wonder why Americans don't walk everywhere. It's like, yeah, it kind of sucks to walk here.
It's far.
Everything's forever away.
Especially in freaking Texas, man. Like there is nothing close. So
even when you're in the cities, it's far to each destination. So,
yeah. Man, do you remember San Antonio?
Houston, yeah,
Houston.
San Antonio. But Houston's like everything's far apart. San Antonio, everything's far apart. My number 4 is Switzerland. I think it looks really cool. The Alps. The Matterhorn. I've always wanted to see the Matterhorn. Chocolate. I like chocolate.
No, Joseph, you're lactose intolerant. Don't do it.
The knives. They have the pocket knives, so go get one.
You
That's
can't bring
cool.
you can't bring them back through security, Joseph.
They make cool watches though, so
That's true.
But no, Switzerland looks cool. It's not, and it looks like a cool place to backpack and stuff like that, just to be out among the mountains. So I'm going to say Switzerland for my number 4. Thomas, your number 3.
New Zealand. That is my number 3.
You won't fit in the Hobbit's houses.
No,
Bang
I
your head
don't.
like
But
Gandalf.
I do have a wish to take my mother to go there again because she's a massive New Zealand fan. She is a huge New Zealand All Blacks fan, the rugby team. Weirdly enough, the rugby team, the actual like Instagram and Twitter account of the All Blacks team follows my mother on her social media. It's crazy.
Well, tell them to follow us.
I honestly want is there any way you could finagle some influence?
Here we go. Taika, if you're listening out there, we will review your movie if you send us out to New Zealand. So,
but yeah, also weirdly enough, they don't have any real insects there apparently. So they don't have insects, like a lot of insects or snakes.
It's like then.
It's like the opposite of Australia, basically, which is funny because they're in spitting distance between each other. But they don't have a big insect population, and they don't have any lizards, from what I understand.
They have kiwis.
Well, kiwis are birds. So.
Little flightless birds.
Little flightless birds.
That'd be
and
perfect,
people.
though, because I hate bugs. I really do hate bugs.
I do too.
I don't like them.
They're very.
They need to go away.
I was walking the other day, and a giant beetle just rammed right in my chest, and I was like, "Dang it!"
I was having.
I have a heart condition. What are you doing?
Hey, chill!
Trying to kill me.
I was having a battle with this red wasp in my shop the other day, and I couldn't. It kept running away when I was trying to kill it. And then I lost
You're just like,
Thomas, I'm okay with spiders, but wasps, man, they freak me out.
Yeah.
I can't.
There was one at my old job. It was solid black, and I forget what it was called. It's like I don't know if it's like black widow wasp or something like that. But it was just sitting on my table where I work, and I finished my order, so I was gonna box it up, and then it wouldn't leave me alone, and I had these little white strips we would put in so you wouldn't cut the product. And it got up and literally just started flying straight at my face. So I had to swat it down with these little sleeves of cardboard. And then I looked it up, and apparently they're not very aggressive. So I don't know what its plan was.
That one was.
It died. It died.
It was trying to kill itself. It's like, no, I will be
I'm finished. It was weird though. It was like midnight black. Like there was no detail at all on it. It was weird. It's gross.
Michael, do you have a number 3 country for us?
Number 3, I'd probably throw in Greece in there. Just for all the crazy history and junk. It'd be super cool to go around that place. But
you're a big Mamma Mia fan?
I've never seen Mamma Mia.
It's a lot of Greek people.
There you go.
Eat a lot of fish there.
I'll go with My Big Fat Greek Wedding. We'll go with that one instead.
Oh, there you go.
But there's actually I was looking up they have those group tour trips that I might go on next year. We'll see.
Oh, nice.
Just all over Europe and everything. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be cool.
Lots of fun.
Sneak me in.
There you go. Pack Joseph in my bag. Come on.
We'll have to do the podcast.
Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
We'll have to do the podcast from hotel rooms and stuff.
That'd be fun.
Or Greek jail.
Yeah. My number 3 is South Korea. I think South Korea looks really cool.
Gonna go to some cake pop concerts there, Joe.
I know. Yeah. I know a lot of people would say Japan, and probably Japan's on your guys' list, but for me, I'm gonna go with the lesser known one.
Wow.
South Korea. And it just the Seoul looks cool. It looks cool really at night because I always see night pictures there, and it's all lit up and stuff like that. And then the food scene too. I'm all about the food scene. So
apparently they love Americans.
Cool. So
there you go.
love me.
Love Joseph. Take him in.
Love me. Love me.
So yeah, I'd like to go there before North Korea ever tries anything, but
Have you seen North Koreans compared to South Koreans? It's so sad. Like,
South Koreans can be pretty beautiful. So.
well, not just that, but I'm talking like North Koreans are on average almost a foot shorter than South
Yeah,
Koreans
that's true.
because of the malnutrition.
They don't get a lot of food, Thomas. They
don't.
That one guy takes it all, the leader.
But he doesn't poop. He doesn't poop.
He doesn't poop. That's why he disappears for months on. Okay, Thomas, you're number 2.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining like we have an emergency. The glorious leader has to poop. has to be completely secret.
We're gonna get hacked.
I know.
It's over now. We're done.
Though we might get some good publicity. So there you go. No, my number 2 is Japan. So for my 30th, I was supposed to go to Japan, but that didn't work out because of this thing called COVID. Anyway, like I had tickets, I had like a hotel, and I had plans. I was going to be spending less than a mile away from the Gundam Cafe, by the way. And I had planned out like what do you call it, maid cafes. I was like,
all the maid cafes.
No. The thing is, my brother was coming with me because it was his 21st birthday, is my 30th birthday, and I planned on giving him $500 and going like, "There's a maid cafe. Go have fun. I'm going away from you. Goodbye." So, but that didn't happen. But besides the debauchery of modern Japan, I would like to go to Okinawa because of my martial arts background and the it's kind of
Karate Kid.
Yes, that too. But what's kind of interesting about Okinawa is that they speak a different dialect than modern Japanese, and they also don't consider themselves Japanese. They consider themselves Okinawan, not Japanese. Very interesting culture. So I would really like to go there and see if I could possibly get a tour of some of the dojos there, because that's the originator of Shotokan and modern karate is Okinawa. So
I think Okinawa was the one. So we were watching. Me and my brother was watching Iron Chef. We were going through the old ones.
I am too, actually.
And I think there's one where the guy's from like an Okinawa hotel. He's the chef there. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that hotel's still there. So I looked it up, and it was. And they're actually really cheap hotel, but it's like 5 stars, but you can get there for like.
Well, the only problem with going to Okinawa when you go to Japan is that since you have to have like a translator or something, you have to make sure that you get somebody that speaks the dialect, because the dialect is different. But if you do stay within the range of like the Air Force base there, it's a little easier. But yeah, it's surprisingly cheap. I think it's cheap because of the Air Force base.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is just very cool.
Are you going to go to the forest, Joseph?
No. Unless you have to go. I don't know. Michael, what is on your number 2?
No, don't ignore me.
I'm going to steal again. Japan was definitely on my list as well.
Really?
But I feel like that would definitely be... I would want to go for at least a month.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would need to be a stretch of time to really appreciate it.
You got to explore
it.
Yeah.
When I had the tickets, it was for 2 weeks. And that was the point, was because there's no point in going there for 5 days.
Yeah.
There's no way you could acclimate and be like used to it in that short experiment.
You can't really appreciate it even. Like, and I would like to see the big cities and everything, but yeah, definitely like the countryside and everything else. I just want to explore and just see the life and how everything goes. But
I would love to go to 7-Eleven in Tokyo.
There you go.
Probably 5,000 miles goes to 7-Eleven. Freaking tourist over here.
Oh man! But yeah, so we should like somehow, some way, plan a month-long trip to Japan.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
yes.
Actually.
Someone send us there.
They're not expensive, by the way. Just saying.
We could do the show from Tokyo. A couple of shows.
That would be cool, actually. So.
I saw this advertisement for like this Godzilla festival that looks really cool. They're even doing like a short film for free, and it just looks really cool. So I want one of those posters if someone wants to send it to me. My number 2 is the motherland, Spain.
Of course.
I gotta go to Spain. My family's very Spanish. You could tell.
What? You're not going to go to the other motherland, Joseph?
No. But no, like Spain is really cool. their food is just my food. I eat pork all the time. They specialize in pork, so I'm gonna gain like 50 pounds over there. They have beaches that look. Madrid looks very cool. Probably won't go to bullfights because I'd probably get mowed down. But
You're not going to go to the running of the bulls?
no, they would step on me
That's
right
terrifying.
away. Maybe that tomato fight they have every year where you like throw tomatoes at people. A lot of cool architecture. See some Picasso stuff. That would be cool. And then they're on the modern edge of cooking over there. So I'd like to see Barcelona and just.
No, you got to say it right.
What, Barcelona?
Barcelona.
With the lisp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spain is my number 2. So Thomas, reveal your number 1.
So it's funny you mentioned pork. So mine's the exact opposite of the pork, and mine is Israel. So another thing there is I want to take my family to go there because we have a lot of roots there, and we have some family friends that I'd like to connect with. So weirdly enough, I actually almost immigrated to Israel when I was 21. So but I did not want to join the armed forces at that time. So
I thought you would have. I thought that's something you would have done.
I almost did. Like I was actually talking to a friend that we knew. Unfortunately, he was actually assassinated by a terrorist a few years ago. Yeah. It gets a little much sometimes, but he's like, well, you should you should just do it. Like, just, do you want to be in the military? I'm like, maybe. He's like, well, just join. I'm like, well, what if I'm not 100% Jewish? Like, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
So, but yeah, it's still interesting. And honestly, I still could do it. It's just not as concrete because literally once you serve, you're fine. Like, whatever. But there's a lot more to it than just doing that now. But I would still love to go over there. I want to see the Wailing Wall. That's a big thing for me. But yeah, that's probably my number 1. So
well, I'd probably go once or one of these days on like
you can't have pork.
I know at all, man. Even the Muslims won't let me eat pork over there. But pork. Like I can see going on like a church group when they go out there and stuff. But so definitely get out there once I like hit my retirement age or something. Michael, what's your last?
This one actually would be, mine weren't really in an order, but this one would be my number 1 because you guys know I'm a stickler for British stuff. England.
Of course.
I love the architecture. Nice. I love everything about it.
We would never get you back.
I love Doctor Who. I love Harry Potter.
I know, he just disappeared over there.
I love the sweeping lands outside of, the big cities. I just want to go explore. I love castles. Castles. I want a castle. Give me a castle.
You could probably buy one in Scotland, Michael.
Let me just do it. I'm just gonna move to Scotland. I live in a castle. I'm just Dennis from Always Sunny in the last season. I start talking to the walls and everything's just wonderful. But yeah, I don't know why. There's something deep in me that loves British things. I love England. I've never been there, but I love everything about it. I just want to go. Just send me there, please. Pack me up.
Do it. So my number 1 is actually Thomas's number 5, which is Australia. I want to go because I love the beach. And they have a lot of beaches.
They have a lot of sharks there too, Joseph.
It's okay.
Like Thomas said, everything wants to kill you. I can't convince Jared or Jonah to go to Australia.
Yeah, because Jared can't get over the freaking accents for some reason. That's every time I bring up Australian people. I hate their accents. I despise their accents. I'm like, what? That's what's holding you back? Not the absolutely gorgeous people that are everywhere there. So
I'd love to go pet like a kangaroo. I saw some guy petting baby kangaroos. That looked kind of cool.
Don't fight them.
What about koalas, Joseph?
Koalas are right. They look kind of stinky though. Yeah, I feel like they would be.
They're like disease ridden, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, they're well, yes, they're not. What do you call it? They're STD ridden. Sorry.
And they carry a lot of bacteria on them. So.
Okay, how about a wallaby then?
Yeah, okay, we'll do a wallaby. but yeah, Australia. Just it's for some reason I've always wanted to go there.
You just want to be rescuers down under, don't you?
Maybe that's where that's from. Maybe
You never
maybe that's why.
Did you ever read or listen to the book Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey?
No,
No.
it's in
Oh
my
my
wish
gosh.
list.
Oh my gosh. He has a story about how he was like kind of an exchange student in Australia. All of his
Lord.
stories are just mind blowing. Like how does this all of this not only one of these things, but all these things happen to one person? Like none of the stories. I'm like I half don't believe any of these because they're all ridiculous. But his Australia story is so funny. But you guys should definitely read that book. It's so good.
Dude, there was a weird story. What is it with him and Woody Harrelson? I think,
Oh my gosh.
and how
There's
they're
a
like
lot
kind
of
of
those.
Yeah.
kind of related. Or
Yeah, they're
something like
cousins.
that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man.
It's like
Okay.
what is it? Jeremy Renner and Jennifer Lawrence are cousins.
Huh, I didn't know that.
So
Really?
mhm.
Okay. All right. So that was kind of a cool little discussion. I have another idea for a discussion like that. But we'll do that down the line. So let's talk about what we always talk about. First, we got the
Uh-oh.
box office breakdown. So this week we got
Brought to you by Jim
Barbie.
Gaffigan.
I don't want to watch Jim Gaffigan right now. So we got Barbie and Oppenheimer pretty much staying on course, making all that money. Barbie's getting close to Super Mario. I think if we look down here, yeah, real
Jeez.
close. So they'll probably
Goodness.
pass them. So Barbie's probably going to be your top movie of the year, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Oh boy.
Ninja Turtles, which Michael, didn't you see that?
Yeah, great movie.
Number 3,
That's doing pretty
Meg
good.
2. Has anyone said Meg 2?
It's very disappointing.
People
How does that make $12.7 million? That's absurd.
love the Meg, man. They love that first Meg.
That's like something you see in like a 50-cent bin and it's still your last choice. God.
And then the movie we just reviewed, go check that out. Last Voyage of the Demeter, coming in 5th with 6.5. Didn't make too much money. I don't know how much that movie cost, but
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious.
couldn't have cost that much. And then we have Strike Watch, day 103 of the writer's strike.
Oh, geez, 103.
103. So I don't think apathy, I think, is the word. No one really cares.
Okay, so I looked
Crazy.
at the budget for Last Voyage.
What was it?
Well, okay, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but compared to what's making, not great. 45 million. So,
Wow.
but it's made about almost 7. So that's not terrible. I mean, they could have some like I say home video, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It could be a big streaming hit because this has like all the like earmarks of a streaming success. So
I guess we'll never get a sequel, so we'll never know if he gets caught.
Never know if he caught Top Hat Dracula.
Golem Dracula.
Okay, so we always share what we're watching for week to week. So who wants to start? Thomas, do you want to start with your watch list this time?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. I'm in season 5 right now of TNG. But I also did get to watch some. Have you seen Lower Decks, Joseph?
No, the cartoon.
Oh, yes, it's so good, Joseph. Like basically every joke you've ever told about Star Trek, it's in this show. Like they're very, very self-aware, but it's all done like in a massive amount of respect. And you can tell people who not only write the show but also work on the show are huge fans. There's a crossover episode, and I don't want to talk.
I did see that.
You did see that? It was hilarious. Like it was so good. And the fact that you got to see them like in real life and everything works out great. But yeah, it's fantastic. But besides that, I haven't watched really any movies. Just haven't had time. Finals week was last week, so I was like deep in the study books. But besides just random YouTube crap. I haven't been watching too much, but do you want to see what I got?
Oh, here we go. The fashion.
Okay, this isn't mine. This is actually a present for somebody. So if they're watching, turn away now. Trevor, turn away, because I'm doing all my Hanukkah shopping like now because things are cheaper right now. So anyway, this is a duck down, a big duck down. So this is one of the
jacket corner with Thomas.
If Carhartt doesn't sponsor you within like a
they
month,
should. They should.
This man is taking half our product.
But no, this is a duck down. It's actually one of their warmer coats. It's like a level 1.5, I think.
They have levels to their war.
Yeah. Well, it's like standard like work level like stuff. Like
I've
what
never noticed.
Yeah. But this is really nice. It's a little used, but it's in perfect condition. But yeah, this is a really warm coat. I'm actually not going to stay in it very long because it's pretty warm.
Burn it up.
But yeah, it's that one, and I got some other stuff coming, so we'll see. eBay is my great present shopper because I can get stuff for so much cheaper, and it's awesome. So but besides the Carhartt corner with Thomas, I think that's about it for today. So
all right. So Michael, did you do anything besides fight bugs in the past?
Fight bugs? Oh,
yeah, I thought you were fighting wasps.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was the last week or week before. Yes, I did. There was one I forgot to mention last week. I watched Tar finally on Amazon.
Oh,
I still haven't watched that.
Me neither.
I didn't know anything about the movie really, except for that she's a why can't I think
Conductor?
of the word? Conductor. Thank you.
I was gonna say lesbian.
Very very interesting movie. I definitely liked it. Not as much as I thought I was going to, but it's a good movie. It's a very one tone kind of movie. Like it's just kind of like there, and there's no like humor or anything to offset or anything. It just kind of goes straight forward into the story. But it took me a minute to realize what actually was going on, because it starts off and you're kind of like, oh, we're with this person. You're seeing it from this point of view, and then like, oh no, all this stuff kind of comes out. It's very not in your face storytelling. Yeah.
Does she speak a lot of German in this?
Some, not a ton, but it's weird because her class will be like half German, half other things. So she'll say the German, then she'll say it in English. So there's no subtitles during those parts, which is interesting.
So apparently she learned German.
Oh wow, nice
for this role.
Yes, I mean, it sounds good to me. I wouldn't know, but
I was just like, that's really going after it for just a part. But
yeah.
So I was wondering if like a lot of the dialogue was in German or not.
Yeah, she speaks it regularly, but not like a ton.
Okay,
but yeah, definitely a very, very interesting movie. I finished it. It took me a while to realize how I felt about it, but it's interesting. Then I finally caught up on Always Sunny and watched the newest season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which it was kind of weird. Kind of feel like there's a big jump between. They all look a little bit older in this one. I don't know. I don't know if it was just.
Also, like in much better shape, all of them are. And
well, except for Max he's been buff for like 4 seasons now. But.
Yeah, I know. But even like Charlie and Dennis are still like, they look better now.
Yeah,
but
I feel like they are just using less makeup now, because I feel like in the prior seasons they were kind of still trying to look a little younger. Like their hair was a little dyed, like even Max's beard, but they're keeping their gray hairs in there and everything and all that. But it was a fun season. There were a few episodes I was like, what the heck's going on? But the last episode with Dennis is so funny. It's basically
go ahead.
It's basically Dennis wants to take a mental health day. He's like, it's a mental health day. So he goes off and it's Always Sunny. So one thing after another goes wrong. And he's just like, he has a little heart rate monitor on his wrist because his whole thing is he challenges the doctor. He's like, I can lower my heart rate by will. He's like, I can control my blood pressure with my mind. Like I don't need your pills. And so his whole thing is like, it starts beeping every time he gets angry. It's Dennis. So he's always angry. It was a very funny episode. What did you say?
Well, no, I sent you that one. I think it's from one of the newer seasons where he hits the what do you call it? The punching machine.
Oh, that was the newest season.
He's like, I am like genetically superior to you. And he looks over, he's like, I have shattered every bone in my hand. There is nothing left. It is just liquid blood. Like, you need to find me a place to yell. Forget it. I'm going to yell
I'm
right
gonna
now.
Yell now.
Ah!
It was so that episode was really good. They go to a bowling alley. Very funny. Then we went and watched, because they're doing Studio Ghibli anniversary in theaters. So we want.
When aren't they doing a
That's
Studio?
kind of what I'm like. There's always some reason these are always in theater, but
Yeah.
Johnny was like, we should go see Princess Mononoke. So we went and saw that. Corey and Becca were supposed to come with us. They didn't. Very sad. That movie's still incredible. Like, it's so good. So freaking good.
Amen.
Surprise here. So I had watched the first half of the first season of For All Mankind on Apple, which is the, if Russia beat America to the moon. Watched the first half. I was like, this is interesting, really good. We'll see if I can continue it. Watched the second half this week. Holy crap, it's amazing. Like the first half, I was like, this is fine, good, whatever. The second half, like I was almost in tears like 5 times. And I'm like, this is just the first season. I think they're ending it with the 4th season. So I'm in the same season 2 now, but
Chris Kinman in that?
That's the dude from
Suicide Squad?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He does a really good job. But yeah, huge surprise of how like it's like after they get really beyond the first landings and everything, and they start kind of just going down their storyline of what would have happened in their eyes of, the race and everything. So good. It's so good. I can't wait to see more of it.
I have seen some of the gunfights or whatever, like in space.
No, I haven't gotten that far,
but every time I see one, I always think, and I know that you're the only one that can think of this, is Space Force when they're on the moon.
That show's so dumb.
That show funny, is terrible, but it's so stupid. It's funny. It's really funny.
But
it's
show
not
only
good.
Works because of the actors they have in it.
Yes.
If it wasn't for them,
the material is terrible.
It'd be so stupid.
But the actors 100% commit to it. And,
gosh, funny. Then we watched. I'd never seen Straight Outta Compton. Watched Straight Outta Compton.
That was good.
I knew all the names of these people and rap songs you hear everything. Didn't know anything about them. Didn't know they were kind of the birth of everything and how it all happened. I was like, wow, this is just kind of eye opening and absolutely crazy. And Alex and I were talking during it. We're like, yeah, our kind of touchstone for Ice Cube is the children's movies he did. That's where we know him from. So it was very interesting to see this kind of alternate version.
So if you didn't have that, you wouldn't get Are We There Yet?
True.
Yeah.
It was a wild movie. And then last night I watched The Wind Rises, one of the other Ghibli movies I haven't seen left. So I think I have one more. I haven't seen Ponyo.
What do you think? Because that one's not my favorite.
The Wind Rises?
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know. I also love planes a lot.
Oh yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, I don't know why. If I had perfect eyesight, I would love to be a pilot. That'd be awesome.
You know who also loved planes, Michael? The Japanese Empire.
True. Yeah, the content, and I was like, oh, this is
I kind of checked out a little bit. I was like, oh,
it's a weird, it's a weird thing because they do have that kind of like none of the actual main characters are like, we don't want any of this, but someone's gonna do it, so we're gonna do it because we love making planes and being engineers. But then I love the whole stretched out love story thing too. It's so good. That part was so good. But
I wasn't a huge fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's voice acting.
Really?
I mean, it's not horrible, but there's one line, and I know Alex is lying, by the way. I know he's lying. Because I remember him bringing up this point when we were watching it for the first time, is when this crash or something happens and they're in the car, and then JGL's character's oh no, that's terrible. So but Alex immediately mocked it. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. That wasn't a very good line delivery.
There is you saying that there is everyone and their mothers in this freaking movie.
Yeah.
So many people, Elijah Woodson at some point, Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, which I feel actually his performance was a little off in my opinion for the character.
He played one of the other professors, right?
He played his basically the guy, his partner that he was with most of the time. But actually I liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt a lot. I never remember the guy that played the dad, but he always has a mustache and everything. That's all I know. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. It's very good. That's all I watched.
Cool. I didn't have much. We watched Guardians 3 again. Still pretty good. It still ticks me off that they don't use Star-Lord's full mask. Stupid Marvel. I don't know why they do that, but
gotta have the money faces.
Yeah. And then watched 3 episodes of Bleach, the final season, but Jared's not here to talk about it, so I can't talk about it. And then I watched the series. I wasn't planning to watch the whole series, but it surprised me. It's called Rabbit Hole on Paramount. on Paramount Plus. It stars Kiefer Sutherland and Charles Dance. And it's cool. It's about a kind of a conspiracy, and it has all these twists and turns, and it just keeps you going. It's only 8 episodes too, so it's pretty short. Has Peter Weller, and who's the other guy? Dang it, I had his. They all kind of the same actors. And I just Lance Henriksen. So it has like these kind of cool, kind of distinguished actors in it. They're all kind of playing 4D chess with each other, trying to outsmart each other. So it was really cool. There's some like modern annoying things. The action scenes weren't that great. There's like this skinny girl who beats up these big guys just by like throwing her hands at them. So that's kind of annoying. But you don't really stay for the action. You stay for kind of the twists and turns and the surprises that happen. So
I'm going to try to watch Lioness. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard that's good too. So I'm going to check that out too. But Rabbit Hole, if you're a fan of 24, you probably like this one.
Gotta tell Ben.
We know somebody.
Yep. Yeah, so that's all I watched. So any last words or anything for you guys?
Carhartt, sponsor me, please, for the love of God.
Please sponsor this man.
I just caved in and gave up because I literally, I don't know if I said this last time, I emailed the IMAX about the maintenance, and they never emailed me back. I was like, hey, are there any plans for fixing any of this stuff, like the broken subwoofer, the blue dot on the screen? They didn't email me back, so I have given up on them, and I subscribed to the Alamo Pass.
Saying it for years.
So I am now.
I thought you were going to say you're going to open your own IMAX.
Oh, I wish. But no, so now I'm like gonna be way more willing to watch movies because I get a movie a day with the Alamo Pass. I'm like, heck yeah. So
one thing I don't like is the convenience fee, which I
know it's like, can I just go there and buy it? And
that's the thing. I'm wondering if you can do that. That's the only thing I don't like.
I'll have to ask him next time.
And you also don't get refunded the convenience fee, by the way. So you have to.
It's weird. So it's still like the $2 extra whenever you buy it online, but
yeah.
Well, I wonder if you can just get it if you go there.
That's what I was wondering, but it's still way cheaper for paying $2 for seeing a movie than the full price, and that's any movie, by the way.
Yeah, because I'd been to the theater so much in the past 2 months. I was like,
yeah,
for what I've spent, I would have spent less than half easily.
Yeah, you got to be on some kind of reward program for what we do.
In our profession.
Yeah, in our profession. Yeah. Sadly, when we this was our last movie review. No,
sadly, movies are dead. It's all over.
Day 103. It's not going to take long.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for bonus stuff this week. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.